So I watched Candace Owens' RedPillBlack on the Rubin report last night, and I have some concerns. And some concerns I've been sitting on for a while, and I don't feel good about that fact. You know, I think we should try to be honest with each other and so on, but she's a bit mistaken and a bit paranoid, I think, and therefore not perhaps the best person to take as hugely credible or to throw your weight behind and so on. And this has been concerning me for a while, and like I say, I haven't spoken up, and that's on me. That's my cowardice, I guess, not wanting to rock the boat. And she became something of an ally to Gamergate in a lot of ways, and we didn't have a lot of allies. So yeah, beggars can't be choosers, or whatever you want to say. But the kind of things she says I don't find particularly credible, and I think this story that she spun about Zoe Quinn is spurious. Now don't get me wrong, Quinn's done a lot of bad shit, a lot of it self-admitted bad shit. But this, it's faintly credible in the context of everything else, but just not enough for me. The idea that she orchestrated this entire trolling campaign or whatever against Candace just doesn't seem credible to me, even with her troll contacts and everything. I mean, Candace's idea, this social autopsy, I don't see any real technical way in which it could have been accomplished in the first place, really. And secondly, it was a supremely bad idea, and people were up in arms about it. There were videos about it, there were forum posts about it, you know, and not just trolls. Lots of people were upset at the very idea. So her getting flack or whatever on that basis is not beyond the bounds of possibility. Indeed, I would say it's inevitable. If you try to take on trolls, you're in trouble. If you try to take on internet anonymity, you're in trouble. And Quinn's actions and rhetoric are conflicted on this topic. For all that she has been used as a foil to push internet censorship, and for all she's vacillated between one side and the other, I don't think she's actually for a kind of wholesale internet censorship and control, for all that she's been used that way. I think for her it's really all about her at the end of the day. And if there was a conflict between her and Candace, I think it's just that Quinn likes to be the centre of attention. And that's you look at her past record with things like the Fine Young Capitalists or the Polaris Game Jam, things like that. That's a thread that runs through all of her conduct. If you read her books, you know, she barely mentions anyone else apart from Anita Sarkeesian, who is arguably probably is a bigger name. Anyone that she seems to see as smaller than her, with the exception of a brief mention of Randy Harper, they don't seem to feature, they don't get mentioned. Wu is noticeably absent, for example. You know, she likes to be the centre of attention, and I think Candace's effort threatened to draw attention away from her, and that's pretty much it. Plus the idea of using this tool to out people, to strip away internet anonymity, whatever this tool would have been in the end, that would ruin everything by the fact that it would lend credence to people's upsets and objections to internet censorship. So that's as far as that went. As to being upset, it was a tumultuous emotional time for a lot of people. So there's just nothing there to fuel this conspiracy theory that Candace has, that Quinn triggered all these attacks and so on. And these are the kind of names that trolls would use. It just nothing about the story makes sense or hangs together for me. And yet she's appearing on things like Dave Rubin. She's got this pretty big YouTube channel that's grown out of all proportion really quickly. Part of that's because she's an attractive woman, I suppose. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. I'm not bitter. But you should be careful about who you put your stock in. I don't think it's malicious on her part. I don't think it's anything like that. I don't think she's being deliberately misleading. I just think she's wrong, and that people are doing what I did, which was to kind of swallow back your objections or whatever, because here's someone who is useful and agrees with you, the kind of person who wouldn't normally do that. For conservative people, here's a young, educated black woman speaking about the same kind of things that they like to speak about, and so she gets a pass. For all that she doesn't get a pass from the other side and gets treated abominably, which is only going to strengthen her conversion to the other side. And as far as Gamergate people and so on go, we were desperate for allies, like I said, and may have been less cautious than we should have been. Like I say, I don't think she's being malicious, but in this instance, and I guess I'm as much of an expert as anyone is on Gamergate and its surrounding events. And as much as I think she was harassed and attacked directly by Quinn and her allies, I don't think this trolling conspiracy that she's on about is real. I do think she was treated abominably by the media, misrepresented, interviews taken the wrong way, all that kind of stuff. So I got no objection to all of that, but the accusations towards Quinn, the paranoid conspiracy theories and so on, just don't hold water for me. And if I am to hold to my ideals, I don't feel that I can sit on this anymore, especially after that objection on Rubin, that interview on Rubin. I have to object and not keep it in anymore if I'm going to be consistent and principled about this sort of thing. I don't think that's right. I think people are giving her a bit too much of a pass. I think she has valid objections, but I don't think she was subject to a conspiracy. All that these events require is that people act in their own base self-interest, and that's really all there is to it. Zang.